Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live with the mystery of your mother's unexplained death hanging over you every day? This is the haunting reality for Sarah, a young girl thrust into the care of distant relatives after the untimely and suspicious demise of her mother. These relatives, while familial in name, are far from the warm, loving figures one might expect. Their behavior is uncanny, and there are whispers of their potential involvement in the tragic event that brought Sarah into their care. Sarah's life is not entirely shrouded in darkness, though. She finds solace in her dreams, where her mother's comforting presence is a beacon of hope amidst the gloom. These dreams are not merely figments of a grieving mind, they seem to hold clues, fragments of a puzzle begging to be solved. But Sarah wasn't ready to give up. She was determined to uncover the truth about her mother's death. Imagine being visited by your deceased mother in your dreams, guiding you to uncover the truth. This is the reality for Sarah, a young girl plunged into a world of mystery and intrigue following the suspicious death of her mother. As the moon takes over the night, Sarah's world transforms into a surreal dreamscape where the line between real and imagined blurs. Night after night, Sarah finds herself in vivid dreams, dreams so real she could almost touch them. In these dreams, her mother appears, her figure bathed in an ethereal glow. She never speaks, but her presence is a balm to Sarah's aching heart. And then, the clues start appearing. A locket, an old diary, a photograph. Cryptic symbols that seem to hold the key to her mother's untimely demise. Each dream is like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle, a puzzle that seemingly promises to reveal the truth about her mother's death. The dreams are never the same, always shifting, always changing, but the clues, they remain constant. Each clue seems to whisper a part of the story, a story that only Sarah can hear. As the days turn into weeks, these dreams become her lifeline. They become her sanctuary, a place where she can meet her mother, where she can seek the answers she so desperately needs. Sarah's belief in these dreams strengthens with every passing night. She becomes resolute, determined to decipher the meaning behind these clues, to piece together the puzzle that her mother has left behind. Sarah's life is no longer ordinary. It is now filled with whispers in the night, whispers that promise to lead her to the truth. With every dream, she finds herself getting closer to the truth, closer to understanding the circumstances of her mother's death. But the truth is elusive, always just out of reach. The dreams are cryptic, the clues are complex, and the mystery continues to deepen. With every dream, the mystery seemed to deepen, pulling Sarah further into its web. Yet Sarah is undeterred. She knows that every night brings her one step closer to the truth, one step closer to justice for her mother. What if the answers to all your questions were hidden right under your nose? Picture this. Sarah, a young girl with a heart full of courage and a mind brimming with questions, embarks on a clandestine journey within her own home. It's a house she thought she knew like the back of her hand, and yet every room, every corner, every creaking floorboard seems to hold a new secret. The very walls of the house seem to pulsate with the silent echoes of stories untold, waiting to be discovered. This isn't just a journey of curiosity, it's a journey of fear and determination. Fear, because the secrets she's unearthing belong to the very people she's supposed to trust, her relatives. And determination, because she's fueled by an unwavering desire to uncover the truth about her mother's suspicious demise. As Sarah delves deeper into her surreptitious investigation, she stumbles upon hidden compartments, forgotten letters, and cryptic symbols, each discovery raising her suspicion and painting a chilling picture of her relatives. But the more she uncovers, the more she realizes how dangerous her quest is becoming. Every creaking door, every shifting shadow sends a shiver down her spine, yet she presses on, driven by an indomitable spirit. In the heart of night, when the world is asleep and the moon is her only companion, Sarah's fear and determination wage a silent battle. She feels the weight of her discovery, the cold fear of the unknown, and the hot pursuit of truth. She's walking a tightrope between her safety and her need for closure, constantly aware of the ominous shadows that lurk around her, both literal and metaphorical. But with each passing night, the veil of mystery begins to lift, slowly revealing a terrifying picture. As Sarah pieces together the fragments of her mother's past, she finds herself on the precipice of a shocking revelation, a revelation that could shatter her world or set her free. As pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place, Sarah was on the brink of a shocking revelation. What if the people you called family were the ones who betrayed you the most? Let's delve deeper into the diabolic truth that shatters Sarah's world. After nights of restless dreams and countless whispers from her mother, Sarah finally unravels the sinister plot that led to her mother's untimely demise. It was none other than her own relatives, the ones she naively trusted, the ones she innocently called family, who were the architects of this tragedy. The very people who were supposed to nurture her, protect her and love her, turned out to be the villains in her story. Driven by greed and the thirst for power, they orchestrated a plot so heinous it chills the blood in the veins. They cloaked their diabolic intentions under the guise of familial love, while all along, they were the ones who snuffed out the life of Sarah's mother, leaving the poor girl to fend for herself in this cruel world. Sarah, with the courage of a lioness, confronts her relatives. The room brims with tension as she reveals her newfound knowledge. She accuses them, her voice steady and strong, her eyes blazing with anger and betrayal. The relatives, cornered and exposed, confess to their crimes. Their faces contort in twisted expressions of guilt and shock, their dark secret now out in the open. The truth is a bitter pill to swallow. The revelation shakes Sarah's world, tears her heart, and yet it liberates her. She's no longer the naive, innocent girl they took advantage of. She's a survivor, a warrior, a beacon of resilience and strength. She's the embodiment of her mother's courage and determination. The truth was out, but Sarah's journey was far from over. The betrayal she faced would fuel her strength, her resolve to seek justice for her mother. This was not the end. In fact, it was just the beginning of Sarah's journey towards triumph over tragedy. What if the darkest hour of your life turned out to be your most triumphant moment? Indeed, this question rings true for our brave heroine, Sarah. Let's take a moment to appreciate the resilience of this young girl who found herself entangled in a web of deceit and treachery, spun by none other than her own relatives. Yet, with courage in her heart and a burning desire for justice, she did not falter. Instead, she used her intelligence and cunning to expose the diabolic deeds of her relatives to the authorities. Sarah's life was far from ordinary. Every night as the world slumbered, she'd meet her deceased mother in her dreams. It was a bizarre, almost mystical experience. But these dreams were not mere figments of her imagination. They were her guiding light, paving the way toward the truth. Her mother's spirit, appearing in her dreams, provided her with clues, nudging her closer to the truth of her untimely demise. Through these ethereal encounters, Sarah learned to piece together the puzzle, to discern the truth hidden beneath layers of lies. She discovered how her mother's death was not a simple case of a tragic accident, but a sinister plot hatched by her relatives. And armed with this knowledge, she decided to act. With the wisdom of her mother's guiding dreams and the courage of a lioness, Sarah turned detective, gathering evidence and exposing her relatives' heinous crimes. But Sarah was not alone in her quest for justice. The local authorities, impressed by her intelligence and courage, took her findings seriously. The evidence she provided was irrefutable. It painted a chilling picture of how her relatives had orchestrated her mother's demise and framed it as an accident. And so, the wheels of justice began to turn. The relatives, once smug in their belief that they had gotten away with their crimes, were arrested. Their faces, once masked with feigned innocence, were now etched with fear and disbelief. Sarah's victory was not just about bringing her relatives to justice. It was about reclaiming her life from the clutches of deceit. It was about honoring her mother's memory, about making sure her death did not go in vain. In the end, Sarah not only found the truth about her mother's death, but also found peace and the strength to move forward. She turned her life's biggest tragedy into a triumph, proving that sometimes light shines the brightest in the darkest corners.